The quorum being present through video conference, the meeting commences.
Have you request with the
I am handing over the mic to Vidya Chandra.
I am attending the meeting from the corporate office of the company, Coimbatore. I welcome all the members to the 34th annual general meeting of the company. I take great pleasure in introducing the directors of the company, while CMD and Mrs. Bhavya Chandran is with me at the corporate office of the company, and the other directors who are present in this meeting through video conferencing facility is Dr. K. Venkatachara and Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Narendra. Apart from that,
Mr. M. will be joining.
E.M. Nalasivam will be joining shortly. Apart from that, Shri K. Murli Mohan, Chartered Accountant, Statutory Auditor, Shri Rajesham Padya, Company Secretary, and other panelists are also participating in this meeting from their respective locations.
Yes, I'll connect to camera. I think there is some issue with the internet. We are stuck. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I am Bhavya Chandran, Director of the company, participating in this meeting from the corporate office of the company at Coimbatore. I have great pleasure in welcoming the shareholders, CMD, directors, auditors, scrutinizer, and registrar to the 34th AGM of Ambika Cotton Mills Limited, being held through video conferencing in accordance with the respective circulars of MCA and SEBI. The facility of joining the AGM through video conference is being made available for the members. The directors, auditors, and other panelists are participating in the meeting from their respective locations. Members may note that the company has provided remote e-voting facility to the members to cast their votes in respect of all resolutions as set out in the AGM notice through remote e-voting system administered by CPSL from 9 a.m. of 26th September 2022 to 5 p.m. of 28th September 2022. For those members who are present in the meeting and who have not cast their votes so far, the facility for remote e-voting is also provided. The e-voting platform is now open and you may cast your vote while watching the proceedings of the meeting. Shri V. Tangamuthu, CA, has been appointed as the scrutinizer for scrutinizing the e-voting process and for ascertaining the requisite majority. As the AGM is being held through video conferencing and the resolutions set out in the notice of the AGM have already been put to vote through remote e-voting, there will be no proposing and seconding of resolutions. There is no voting by show of hands at this AGM. There are no physical attendance of members. Appointing proxies is not applicable. Registrars for inspection by members during the AGM as required under the Companies Act 2013 has been made available. Members who seek to inspect may request to the company's email ID ambika@acmills.in. Since the notice of the AGM along with the audited financial statements and the director's report has been circulated to the members, the same is taken as read. There are no qualifications or comments in statutory auditor's report and secretarial report. The same is taken as read. A summary of resolutions set out in the notice of the AGM. To receive, consider and adopt the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended 31/3/2022, comprising of the balance sheet, the statement of profit and loss, and cash flow statement for the year ended on that date, and reports of the directors and the auditors thereon. To declare a final dividend of rupees 35 per equity share for the financial year 2021-22. To appoint a director in the place of Mrs. Vidya Jyotish Pillai, DIN 05215930, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers herself for reappointment. Appointment of Messrs. S. Krishnamurthy and Co., Chartered Accountants, as statutory auditors of the company for a period of 5 years. Reappointment of Shri P.V. Chandran, Director Identification Number 00628479, as the Chairman and the Managing Director of the company. Reappointment of Shri E.M. Nagasivam, DIN 07894618, as the Independent Director of the company. To ratify and confirm the remuneration of the cost auditors for financial year 2022-23. The text of resolutions, along with the explanatory statement, has already been circulated. Refer to instructions provided in the notice of the AGM for participating and voting during the meeting. The proceedings of the meeting are recorded and will be posted on the website of the company. Now, Director Mrs. Vidya Jyotish will read the chairman's statement on his behalf. Over to Vidya.
Dear shareholders, I am happy to welcome you all to the 34th AGM of the company. The directors' reports and accounts are with you for quite some time, and I am happy to draw your attention that the company had made further progress in fiscal 2022. The total income amounted to rupees 925.48 crores as against previous year total income of rupees 633.69 crores, representing growth of 46.04% as against growth of 1.58% in the previous year. The gross profit amounted to rupees 273.38 crores as compared to rupees 119.33 crores of the previous fiscal year. This represents growth of 129.10% in gross profit as against growth of 23.37% in the previous year. The direct export turnover in fiscal 2022 amounted to rupees 583.41 crores as against rupees 420.87 crores in fiscal 2021, representing growth of 38.62% as against decline of 0.04%. The export turnover constitutes 66.34% of the net sales as against 68.45% of the previous fiscal. In the first quarter ended 30th June 2022 of the current year, the company had made a total sales turnover of rupees 243.11 crores, of which direct exports constituted rupees 149.26 crores. The net profit for the period stood at rupees 38.87 crores and cash profit at rupees 46.30 crores. The company's strategic focus of customer satisfaction and attracting new customers through commitment to production of high quality products serves as a strong, varied customer base. The company's track record of product innovation, consistency in quality, and timely delivery of committed orders has substantially contributed to repeat orders and its overall financial performance. It is relevant to note that on account of strong demand for cotton yarn, resulted in upward price revision, contributing to the overall financial performance of the company. The inventory policy adopted by the company supported to meet the demand that rose in financial year 2022. The strong demand for cotton yarn caused impact over demand for cotton and in turn its prices. This demand scenario has caused mismatch as now. Presently, the demand for cotton yarn travels in soft zone. This in turn has resulted in softening of cotton prices. The Sri Lanka instability has caused disturbances in the minds of the banks. The banks wanted to assert the factual position, and it was explained to them that the buyers is located in the special economic zone in Sri Lanka. The company has to shield itself from various bullets. We operate in a specialized market made up of carrying value. The demand is the most important critical factor going forward. We see those who have expanded. The bank balances built into the balance sheet has acted as a cushion of comfort in the minds of the bankers, and in turn, they have sanctioned unsecured credit facilities over and above the secured credit limit, and the company is comfortably placed to move forward to the future and would be in a position to mitigate any situation in the financial platform. Thereby, the future operations of the company is well secured. CSR activities of the company. The company has carried out several CSR activities, such as contribution to Tamil Nadu State Disaster Management Authority for COVID relief works, medical support to Naval Station Agrani, supported Coimbatore Police Commissionerate in upgradation of police hospital and premises, medical support and construction of primary centers in Gopalpatti and Kosmapatti villages of the Dingal district, animal welfare and protection, and various other activities. I hope that the members would appreciate the consistent performance of the company and the overall growth achieved. Thank you. Now I request Dr. K. Venkatachalam to share his views over EV matters.
Thanks, ma'am, for the opportunity provided. I welcome all the directors and the CMD of the company for this 34th annual meeting. There are around 35 attendees also joining through video conferencing, as could I see from the system. I am giving my lecture through the video conferencing at my office in Dingal. So the textile, as an overall view, we could see that there are some setbacks seen everywhere. But Ambika is a little bit unaccepted company because of the way that company and the CMD has planned for the both for the procurement of cotton as well as for the market and all. The company is continuously showing good profits, and in spite of all those turbulences, what we could see from the rest of the world and also from the rest of the mills in India and more particularly in Tamil Nadu, Ambika shows a perfect and sustainable growth rate even in this turbulent situation. For that, we are obligated to thank the CMD for his sincere and continuous efforts, the way he is monitoring and managing the company in all aspects. Generally, coming to this, Ambika is already a renewable power rich company, and the power what it uses for the conversion of cotton into yarn is being mostly met out through the renewable sources because of the large volume of renewable power investments the company has already made and installed in various locations. Fortunately, this year, the renewable power inflow to the company was a little high when compared to all other years. So that helped us to save the power bills when we are dependent on the utilities power, namely Tamil Nadu Electricity Board's power. So that extent, the nature has also helped us, and we are making use of it. And, depending upon the situation and all, company has a proposal to go with the solar power plant, either on the rooftop or otherwise as a standalone grid connected power. So once that is set up, means I think that company's 100% need on power will be met out by the renewable power only, and it is going to be 100% renewable green powered company, or green powered production activities would go. So there are certain policy changes what we could see from the point of view of the Tamil Nadu Electricity Regulatory Commission and also Tamil Nadu Electricity Board, the way they approach the renewable power strategies. In spite of it, the power is the main expense in the conversion next to the raw material. In the situations now, normally the labor cost will be second of it, raw material cost will be always first, and the power cost will follow. So nowadays, even it is surpassing the labor cost, and the power cost is coming to almost the second of the entire conversion cost. With the vision and the plan of the management, the company has already installed sufficient capacities of wind turbines at all feasible locations. So it is generating its own power, and of course by paying the applicable charges for wheeling the power from the point of generation to point of consumption. This makes the company to save considerably on the cost on power when other companies have not these such kind of arrangements either by renewable power or to the extent what Ambika has in its fold the volume of the power generating capacity. When added with the solar power, definitely our power costs will still more come down, and this may add to our profits when Tamil Nadu is facing the power the tariff increases very steeply from the 10th of September onwards. So with these things, I think even though the rest of the mills or otherwise the rest of the country, even the rest of the world, because of various situations, first we can attribute to the COVID-19, this post-COVID-19 period, and how the economies in the other countries is continuously falling down. The way the inflation rates are going up, combined with the Ukraine-Russian war, what we are facing for the last 6 months, there are some difficulties felt in the matter of the demand for the supply of yarn, not only on the yarn but also on the garments, made-ups, home textiles, wherever the yarn of India is going for the manufacture of further value-added products in the value chain. But Ambika is a little bit steady. But the turbulence, we cannot say that Ambika is also completely not out of turbulence. But in spite of the velocity of the turbulence, Ambika was able to manage it with so many supporting factors as power cost, at the right cost at the time of purchase, we purchase cotton, how the fluctuations in the cotton is not directly affecting Ambika and all. So with these main areas of decisions making by the company, more particularly the CMD, the company is giving a sustained growth and is making a perfect result to the shareholders also, when other companies are still stumbling to come forward to this extent. So with these few words, I hope that I have explained the things in a nutshell. So coming days we have to wait and see. And for Ambika, it may not be so hard, but we will also feel the heat of the environment, because it is a turbulent moment. Supposing that the Ukraine-Russian war is completely stopped and normalcy is achieved, and the oil, gas, and everything is flowing to European countries as it was flowing earlier to the war. Likewise, the European economy is also getting again regain its strength and all when the US comes to its normal position. So all these things are expectations, and also we are speculating better things. But, how long the situation can continue as such? This is a question. We don't think that on the coming into the 2023, I think the entire market scenario may change. And countries have realized what made them sick, and what has to be done to again come in a healthy economic manner. So when everybody is thinking about this, and the good thing is that India has become the 4th biggest economy in the world. So definitely it will march to catch the 3rd position also. With these all these ambitions, and the Indian government is also seriously negotiating for the free trade agreement with some of the European countries and also with some of the other nations. Of course, they have signed already an agreement with Australia, but that has not yielded the best results because the population in Australia is too low. But when it goes to European Union and Indian FTA meets, then we will be making a level playing field. And the FTA, what the Bangladesh, our so to say competitor, it is also coming out of the special concession granted under the Act in a short while. So when India and Bangladesh are going to be under the same sort of a level playing field, definitely the chances for Indian goods for export and support by all other developed countries will definitely increase. With these words, thank the chairman for having provided me an opportunity. I also thank my fellow directors for supporting the company's every affair in every nook and corner to make this growth to happen. And accordingly, I thank Mr. Ravi, Mr. Murali Mohan, and Sita Lakshmi and all. So thanks for the opportunity. And if any questions are there, I think our CMD will be answering on it. On the power side, I am always free to answer any questions if it is raised. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, KV sir, for your kind words and the support you have always rendered through, and for giving a clarity to our shareholders regarding the picture of the power situation and the general situation that we are facing as a company. We will now take questions from our shareholders. The shareholders who have already registered to speak will be allowed to speak, and the members are requested to keep their questions brief and specific. The moderator will facilitate the questions on the video feature to avoid repetition of answers to all the questions. Or the answers to all the questions will be provided at the end. Members also note that the company reserves the right to limit the number of speakers asking the questions and depending on the availability of time. Also, questions sent by email to the company are already summarized and categorized. I shall read out the name of the speakers who will be speaking one by one, and they will be presented on screen accordingly. We will be seeing Mr. G.R. Balaji, Mr. Vaibhav Bhajatia, Ms. Vasudha Dhakwe, Mr. Taha Merchant, Mr. Keshav Garg, Mr. Himanshu Upadhyay, Mr. J.R.K. Sharma, Mr. Pratyush Mittal, and Mr. Anuj Sharma. We will start with Mr. G.R. Balaji.
Hi, good morning. I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Balaji from Chennai, and thanks for the opportunity. This is my first AGM of attending Ambika Cotton's this one. So thanks again. So I have a few specific questions to the board of directors. The first question is, what is our sustainable margin for our business? Because obviously there are years where we make a little more higher margin. So I would like to know what's a sustainable long-term margin. Second question on top line growth for last 6 years, excluding FY22, has been a pretty low single-digit growth. So I'd like to know what is our medium-term growth aspiration in terms of revenue in next 3 to 4 years. Third, how is our product priced over the peers? Since we do some specialized yarn, would like to know how are they priced in line with our peers or slightly premium. Fourth question, what is our sales process? Because I checked, we have something called broker and commission charges, which resulted in 16 crores, vis-a-vis 10.5 crores. So maybe we'd like to know the process. Since it's the first AGM, I would like to learn on that. The fifth question, which segment of textile where our products are predominantly used? Sixth, what is the return on capital employed generally we look in when we do capital allocation? And what is our capex plan for next 2 years? The last before question, how are we planning to use 280 crores cash in the balance sheet, since last year was a very bounty year for us? And finally, what's the founder's vision for the company in the long term? I'm not looking at 1, 2 years, a pretty little long term, between 5 to 10 years. What's the founder's vision and thoughts on succession planning? That's from my side. Thanks for the opportunity. Wish you good luck and it should do good. Thank you.
Can I have what is your holding in the company? What is your holding in the company?
No, I just have one share. I'm just learning.
Okay.
I also represent a PMS, so it's on the learning side.
No, we want to ascertain the.
Yeah, no problem. We are a large PMS holder from Chennai.
Normally, you have to identify your DP holding and what is your holding. That will facilitate.
Sure, sir. So you want, I'll tell you, my name is Jia Balaji and I have one share. Just to learn, I've gone in. That's from the interest, I'm being clear. If you want my DP ID, I've already mailed it to you. If you want, I'll just read it out.
Because it's very difficult to locate from the shareholder, because we have some 25,000 shareholders.
But I mailed it already. That's how the registration has been done.
We want to have the data in the.
Sure, sir, sure.
Okay.
Thanks. Wish you good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
The next speaker would be Mr. Vaibhav Bhajatia.
Hi, sir. Hope I'm audible. Yeah,
Right.
thanks a lot for providing the opportunity. So my Demat account number is 1208 16000275707, and I also have one shares because I'm just trying to understand more about the company. So I just have two questions. So uh, we have been really selective about our expansion. So I just want to know 4 or 5 key factors, whether it is related to industry or company or our specific product, that you consider before launching the expansion. That these are the factors, and now these factors are in line. So that's why we want to now go ahead for the expansion. So these factors, if you can explain us, that would be helpful. And secondly, the margins that has expanded substantially in FY22. Similar kind of expansion we have seen quite a long time back in FY10 to sometime 12. So if you can understand what has caused this sudden jump in margins, is it related to cotton pricing cycle and we were able to kind of procure at a low price? So what has driven this sudden margin improvement? So these are the two questions from my side. Great if you can answer them, that would be helpful.
Thank you, Mr. Vaibhav. Over to Ms. Vasudha Dhakwe.
Vasudha ma'am, you can ask with your questions.
Next.
She's come.
Coming.
She's come.
Okay,
She's
okay.
I think she's facing some technical issues. So we'll move next.
Okay, so the next person to present is Mr. Taha Merchant.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hi, a very good afternoon to everyone. Chandran sir, I am a huge admirer of the work that you've done at Ambika. The kind of track record we have over the long term, both on the business side and the corporate governance side, is a rarity among corporate India. My deep admiration and congratulations to you for backing virtues with action every step of the way. I have two questions for you today. Number one is our command over our raw material supply chain is one of our big strengths at Ambika. Now we've all seen how climate change is wreaking havoc on weather patterns across the world, and this seems likely to intensify in future. Considering that cotton is a very highly water-intensive crop, how do you see unexpected future disruptions due to climate change affecting our supply chain? Are there any mitigation strategies we could use? I understand that this is a tricky question, and any insights you could share with us would be helpful here. The second is in a textile industry that is notoriously difficult, we've turned in superlative operational results over the span of decades. Chandran sir, I believe this is a testament to your very high level of business acumen
and technical expertise. How do you see Ambika being managed with the same brilliance by the next generation over the long term? So those were my questions, and your insights on these counts will be much appreciated. Thank you very much. My Demat account number is 15225327, and I have 740 shares.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taha. Over to Mr. Keshav Garg.
Sir, thank you very much for providing me this opportunity. Sir, I have already mailed you my list of questions. So do you want me to repeat the same?
All the questions, yes, you could summarize it. We have also summarized it in various categories.
Ma'am, so very quickly, I will repeat my questions. Sir, what is the outlook for the current year in terms of top line as well as bottom line? So you think that last year's net profit of 180 crore we can maintain for the current year also? Sir, our operating profits have been reducing since the past 3 quarters from 52 crore in Q3 of last year to 47 crore in Q4 of last year and 39 crore in first quarter of this year. So has this declining trend now over? And can we stabilize at the first quarter level of operating profits of around 40 crores? So what is the, so are we seeing any slack in demand for our products due to recession in Western markets? So are we facing any issues due to high domestic cotton prices, and have we been able to increase the price in cotton prices to our customers? So I think the government has allowed the industry to import duty-free cotton till September or December of this year. Sir, but post that, once the 10% import duty kicks in on imports of cotton, so are we eligible to import duty-free cotton under advance authorization scheme for exports of cotton yarn? So the capex plans have already been asked. Sir, also kindly tell us what percentage of our exports are we eligible to get back as export incentives? So any plans to get into woven fabric manufacturing or garment manufacturing? Sir, also we had plans to outsource yarn and make fabric from that. So now that yarn spreads have increased, so does that plan still hold good? Sir, also a general outlook on the yarn industry. Sir, when will our fabric revenue exceed 50% of our total revenues? Sir, our total yarn production has reduced from a peak of 197 lakh kgs to 192 lakh kgs, and fabric production has reduced from 90 lakh kgs in FY19 to 72 lakh kgs in FY22. Sir, so can we surpass the peak production that we did in FY19 in FY23? Sir, also last year our profits increased 2.5 times, but sir, the dividends you have kept it stable. Sir, so any reason for that? Are we on the verge of incurring some capex plans, or sir, what is the rationale for accumulating around 280 crores in our balance sheet? Sir, and if we see, then last year we got an interest income of only 4.66 crores. Sir, so maybe these funds were in Forex bank account, and only recently you might have shifted them to domestic deposit accounts. So, but even there, if we see, then sir, the rate of interest is below the rate of inflation. Sir, so basically our funds are losing money. Whereas, sir, if we see our market capitalization today is around 900 crore, whereas we have around 300 crore of net cash with us. So which leaves us with an enterprise value of merely 600 crore. And so on this last year, we did around 270 crore of operating profits. So basically our company is trading at 2.5 times enterprise value to operating profits, which is extremely cheap. So if we can use some of our cash surplus to retire our equity at throwaway prices by doing a share buyback, so that will benefit all the shareholders. And so as far as the tax treatment goes, dividends are being now taxed at 35%. So, and all our shareholding in the company is mostly individuals only. So straight away 35% tax will be paid, whereas in a share buyback only 23% tax the company has to pay, just like erstwhile DDT. And so then shareholders have to pay no capital gain tax or whatsoever. So basically there is a straight away tax saving from 35% to 23%. So you can kindly consider that suggestion. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Keshav. We have well noted your points and we have also priorly received your mail. So that's also taken into consideration. Everything will be answered step by step. Next, over to Mr. Himanshu.
Himanshu, you can ask your questions.
Mr. Himanshu. Madam, it seems he is having some network connectivity issue. We can move to the next one.
Move to the next speaker, Mr. J.R.K. Sharma.
Mr. J.R.K. Sharma, you can unmute and speak now. Sir, you have unmuted. Please speak. Sharma, sir. Madam, no response. We can move to the next one.
Okay, the next speaker is Mr. Pratyush Mittal.
Mr. Pratyush, you are unmuted. You can speak now.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. First of all, I'm really happy to see Mr. Chandran and the whole team. So it's a pleasure to see you, and I've been a great fan of your work. I think what you have done in the cotton industry is really admirable. And at the AGM, I'd like to have this opportunity to understand some of your thoughts about the industry and some of the thoughts for for the company. I've sent some of my questions already. If you can highlight some of the answers, that will be helpful. Still, just for the convenience, maybe few points that I will like to mention. First, we have seen a huge growth in the industry that happened because of the ban on China and those procurements, or maybe the commodity price rise that happened, and there was a windfall for the industry. And now we are again seeing a big mismatch happening. So, can you share some thoughts on the industry as to how you think it will evolve from here, how the margins will be going forward, how is the demand situation, and by when do you think the normal will be back? And the demand growth that we saw, do you think it will be back again after some time in a quarter or two or not? And this Xinjiang cotton issue, was it really there, and it will be really there in the longer term? We are also seeing, sir, that a lot of Indian yarn players have been expanding, the ones which have grown to a certain level and they have some expertise. While for us, we have not been expanding for quite some time now. We had some plans, but somehow they have not materialized. So, update on those expansion plans. How do you plan to take them, and what are your plans to grow the company? Because beyond a point, if we don't have capacity, we can't grow. So, why we have not been putting capacity? Some insights on that and your thoughts going forward. The other segment that we were focusing on was the knitted fabric, in which you had some special products on which you were focusing premium products. Your thoughts on them and evolution going forward? What are your plans? We also saw a huge growth in realization, and now they seem to be falling. So, any thoughts on them? Yeah, and so on the margin profile, if you can share some thoughts, what kind of margins do you see sustainable for the overall company and for the knitted segment? That will be a bit helpful. Um, uh, yeah, and something, sir, on the power thing also, we couldn't understand it clearly. Like when we have so much of windmill, still we are incurring quite a bit of power expense. So some thoughts on this as to what will happen. And so in line with the previous shareholder, I think given that we have slowed down the growth plan of a company, perhaps the right way would be to go for buybacks. I think that is the right way to utilize good amount of cash flows and reduce the equity, and that might be a good solution for the longer term. So I'll re-emphasize on that. And and last, sir, any other like you have been the best in the Suprema cotton. So in that we are seeing more usage in India. So are you seeing more demand from India or exports, or you have been able to develop any other new premium cotton or something? If you can share your thoughts on that, that will be very helpful. Thank you, and wish you best of health and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pratyush. Well noted. And the last speaker for today will be Mr. Anuj Sharma. And for the other speakers who have missed, we have already received your email. We have summarized the points and the same will be answered.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And again, appreciate Mr. Chandran and the team for doing a fabulous job. I have also sent in my list of questions. They primarily revolve around, do you want me to repeat them or briefly can I?
Yeah, briefly you can summarize. No need.
All right. So just
asked by somebody earlier, then.
yeah, okay. No, I'll not try to repeat. Can you just give us some sense into the risk management strategy? So, we have stated that we have always nurtured relationship and not renegotiate contract in adverse situation. So, in a situation of adverse downward movement in cotton prices, do we stand a risk of inventory loss? That's question number one. And also in the same lines, can you just help us on your risk management strategy, especially inventory risk? We have also talked about some exposure to Sri Lanka. Can you just highlight how big that would be? Uh, the third would be capacity expansion. See, we have always thought about capacity expansion, but haven't done so. So, is there a threshold or a thought process on capacity expansion? What are we looking forward to, and when do we want to increase capacity? And one question on the cotton cycle. So, based on your understanding, and you have a long experience in the cotton cycle, can you just share your thoughts as to where are we in the cycle, and what is the opportunity for the next 3-5 years? I will appreciate your responses. Thank you.
I mean, we have received a couple of questions already by email, all of which we have categorized and summarized, which I shall also be briefing the shareholders. And collectively, all of this would be addressed by our CMD when he's back. So some of the prime questions we were asked was regarding the cash and the cash equivalents, the deposits of rupees 280 crores that is with us, and what we are planning to do. This will be elaborated further by the CMD. These are all callable deposits, and we appropriate decisions will be taken when the time comes. And this has given our company a lot of positive effects also, which will be spoken about in detail. Regarding the long-term purchase of cotton for the next season, whether we have nurtured relationship and the downward movement of the cotton price, if we stand any risk in the inventory loss. For many years from now, it is not only in the current situation. For many years from now, we have always contracted early on, procured premium cotton at the best rate possible. And when the prices are decided accordingly, this is decided based on such things, taking into consideration all such risk factors. So whether the downward and the upward movement of the cotton price would be adjusted accordingly by us. And would you give some insight on our risk management? This will further be evaluated by the CMD in his speech. Outlook of cotton prices up to the next season, demand definitely drives the cotton prices, so it is not us to say. And regarding our exposure to risk with our Sri Lankan customer, what is the risk, or has there been any bad debt? All our customers are well placed, and so far we have not had any risks. Our payments have been received on time so far. And regarding the advance authorization, for a few months now, we have been enjoying duty-free import of cotton, which could come to an end in a few days. And if that is the case, we definitely have advance authorization at Upper USL. And for that, we need to fulfill our export obligations also, which we are definitely capable to do. And there was some question regarding the reduction of the number of employees. This reduction of number of employees has not happened. In fact, we have taken into consideration only the employees who have functioned throughout for 12 months. So there has been no reduction of employees per se. It's just that, the employees who functioned for the entire 12 months were variable. That's about it. And there is also a question regarding, we were majorly a yarn manufacturer, but today we have become fabric manufacturer. What are the risks? Our products are tailor-made. We have always catered to customers based on what they want, whether they want yarn, whether they want fabric. We have equipped ourselves to provide the customers what they demand. So we have provided yarn when they have asked us to do so, and when they have required fabric, we have gone ahead and done that. And that does not put us through any risk. And there is the final question that has come is what we are majorly into specialized higher thread count. And if we lose customers, how do we manage to utilize our capacity? And can we get new customers quickly? What percent will our agents dealing in the market? Well, our markets have never remained the same. They have always shifted, and so has our product profile. As mentioned earlier, we make tailor-made products based on what our customers require, and likewise, we have equipped ourselves. New customers would always emerge, and we will always be able to provide what the customer requires. And with this positive note, I'm going to hand it over to our CMD, who will answer all your questions.
Thank you. Welcome all of my shareholders and other family. You want to, I think it is, I am not taking it is your question, it is your concern about company. Yes, definitely one should have a concern, all the shareholders, unless that is there, they cannot invest. You see, March 22, closing March 22 was the wonderful year for all the textile industry worldwide, not India alone, worldwide. The reason being, I can start it from 2020, when the pandemic was engulfed the entire world. Cotton cultivation has taken place, but the consumption has not taken place. So there were ample cotton available. In India, CCA has grabbed a lot of cotton. They purchased a lot of cotton at a higher price to support the farmers. And they wanted to offload all the cotton before September. So, and ready for the next season. So they started selling at a very low price, right from 34 to 35,000. They started selling. We also purchased, so many mills purchased. And those who purchased this cotton at a cheaper price, after some 3-4 months of pandemic, demand started coming in for yarn. And we were equipped with the cotton, which is at very lower price. This is one reason all the mills started, getting profit exorbitantly. You cannot compare that year to the present situation. See, that is one reason. The cotton started at 34,000 and ended finally at 1,05,000, which is very high. I will tell you the story. 2022 March closing, everybody made profit. Most of them gone for expansion. We stood back because we know that when the cotton is very high and a transition period will be very dangerous. And as we thought, the yarn prices started coming down. It came down drastically. Now the mills, those who proposed for an expansion, put on hold partially their proposal. And even the existing spindles, they were not able to run for want of cotton and want of yarn orders. This is the plight. The present cotton scenario is very bad. Cotton yarn scenario is very bad. We have selected a model. Our model is to supply the niche product to the best customer. So in this way, we selected the best customer. You see, the conversion is taking in countries where the labors are cheap. Per se, I say Sri Lanka is one place, but Bangladesh is some place. Bangladesh is some place. Turkey is one. Egypt is one. Sorry. So this what happened in between? Sri Lanka had a financial turmoil. Again, that is with us. That is negated. I mean, that problem was there. So our main support sales was in Sri Lanka. So bankers were nervous giving funds to us. We explained to them why Sri Lanka is important to us. Because all the brands still believe in Sri Lanka, their productivity is good, quality is making is good. So the brands still, they have not gave up Sri Lankan support. And so we also told the bankers, yes, Sri Lanka, now it is in riddled with the financial crisis, will come out very soon. And my customers are in the special economic zone. They're buying in dollar, selling in dollar. So they are not doing in internal Sri Lanka. All these factors could not satisfy the bankers. The bankers said we will not be negotiating the documents for Sri Lanka, but we never gave up. We continuously gave goods to Sri Lanka and all the payments we received so far. You see, the thing is, in 32 years of our service, we have not lost a single pie. No, there is no single pie we lost. Even today, all the Sri Lankan payments have come in time. Second is Bangladesh. Bangladesh, we are targeting only the brands. Brands are supporting, selecting us, giving some vendors' name. That vendors, we are giving the goods against LC only. There is no credit. We are not even a single paisa we are giving credit to people. Even in India, we are giving in advance payment only. So all the payments we are getting, as I explained earlier, the 32 years, there is no zero, there is no loss of money we receive the customers. What I'm saying, we have as of now, not 280 crore, we have 600 crore net current asset and 650 crore gross fixed assets. The total asset value of the company is 1,250 today. If somebody wants to start an industry right now, like Ambika, it will be 1,250 crores. You can imagine the share price and what is the market cap. And what market cap is there for Ambika. It's a wonderful share available at cheaper price. With the 600 crore, 300 crores, we put it in deposit. That is callable deposit. Anytime we can recall back the deposit. It is not a long-term deposit. This year, the interest will be high. Regarding the cotton, if somebody asked me, so what is the cotton policy? Are you going to lose money? You see, from December onwards, we can say when the mills were struggling want of cotton, we sold cotton. Surplus cotton, we have supported them to run their mill. We have given them nearly huge cotton from December to this September. Within 10 months, we have earned 22 crores by way of cotton sales. You have to appreciate the way the way we selected buying cotton at the right time. When mills were struggling getting cotton, we sold the cotton and made 22 crores profit within 10 months. This year we made nearly 9.75 crores. Last year 12.10 crores. So these are all in the balance sheets. You see, the cotton prices may vary. It may go up and come down. That will not make changes to us. That we have to notice. We have to take into consideration all these facts. When in 32 years of my service, I never found that cotton will be ruling at one stage. It will be swindling between lower level to higher level. Accordingly, we have to make product, our niche product. As I told you earlier, we have a special model of business policy. One is that no credit, and even the investments for capital investments, we will give selectively. If it is necessary, we will do, otherwise not. It is not that only capital. You see the people who have gone for expansion. Expansion, they will be doing only that regular product. The market product, what will do? They will be crowding the market, which is already crowded. We don't want to be jump into that ship where it is very risky. We are seeing this commodity market, there is no scope because the price is determined by the buyer, not by the seller. The market which is determined by the buyer, you will not be a successful person. So all these factors we have considered, we are giving only to the brands, reputed brands, those who are with us, all are opulent brands. And they are selecting the very vibrant vendors. That also two LCs. So losing money is not there in Ambika's history. We never lost money. So we are taking all these things into consideration. We have 600 crore cash. This will be used for acquiring some company if it is profitably available. We need not go to the bank. When Sri Lankan episode came, financial crisis, the bankers were nervous. They were not giving us support. All the export bills we have sent out collection. We should have the financial support to do this exercise. Unless we have so much of money in hand, we cannot do this exercise. So all this money we park in the bank is callable deposits. Anytime we can recall the money, we can take nearly 400 crores from the system without hurting the existing activities. So this money will be prudently used for the support of the company. If you ask why others are going for expansion, why you are not going, there are general questions being asked. We will select the time and to invest in the company. When we made so much of profit in this is 1,10,000 spindle got 600 crore net asset value. It is one of the appreciative thing, and we are not budged to the government banks. You see, the rapid fiscal changes in USDA banks done. Our banks were also in a tight spot. The 1% PCFC we were receiving earlier now made to 5%. Unless you have a support like us in the banks, we cannot do this kind of exercise. We lose huge money. Last year, as I said, I made 12.10 crore cash profit. My interest was only 1.25 crore. The whole year, 900 something turnover, only 1 crore. Interest was we have given to fully. So you can consider the company is doing all the possible ways to enhance the profit of the company. Whether I put it in manufacturing or other thing, it is secondary. We will take care of all the betterment of the company, and we will lead the company, we will navigate the company, we will do possible to tide any crisis. And coming, quarters will also be good. I don't think any danger immediately for the company. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Proposing the vote of thanks.
Members may note that the e-voting facility on the platform of the Central Depository Services India Limited, CDSL, will remain open for the next 15 minutes to enable those shareholders who have not cast their vote and would like to cast their votes. The results will be declared after considering both remote e-voting and e-voting at this meeting within the prescribed time, and the consolidated scrutinizers' report will be placed on the company's website and on the website of the Central Depository Services of India Limited, CDSL. And the voting results will also be intimated to the stock exchange where the shares are listed. The resolution as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to the requisite majority. I wish to thank all the shareholders and the directors and the auditors who have joined this meeting through video conference. With this, the proceedings of the 34th AGM is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you. With the permission of Chairperson, we are concluding this meeting. Thank you everyone for joining. Good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you and wish you a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.